family, food, emotions. I mean, everything is interconnected. And, we're coming on today. Okay, I'm going to be joined by my special guest, Shari. Okay, oh, she requested. To Hi, Shari.
Hey, how are you?
Good yourself. Good morning.
Good morning.
Uh,
This
I
Now I was just gonna say how you doing on this like in between Christmas, New Year's week.
Okay, so I was just saying, like, it's not always easy, right? During the holidays, whether it's emotional, whether it's food, there's so many things that happens to us, right? And
Oh,
this midweek, I feel it's always a transition with like, oh, do you feel heavy? Do you feel exhausted? You know? Do you know what I'm talking about?
absolutely, absolutely. We're coming off of the high of the first part of the holidays, all the prep work, the rushing, right? The hustle, and then the food. Yeah, for sure. It's that slump I feel in between the two.
Exactly. And it's like your body that cannot even go through a break.
No, no. There's no break. Or I feel like there's either no break and you're in that mode and you just can't slow down. Or I feel like depending on what your meal consists of, or meals, plural, I find that you have a hard time getting restarted, right? I've seen that too.
Oh, yes. So, like, almost defeated.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like you know that feeling of, I always find there's like a fine line between not being able to get off the couch because you're just enjoying that much deserved R&R. You're feeling good though. That's the difference, right? You're relaxed. You don't want to get off the couch, but you're feeling good. You could if you wanted to. And then there's that cannot get off the couch, couldn't even if I tried, not feeling good, feeling really sluggish. So there's like always that fine line between the two. And obviously the goal is to get to that place where you can chill on the couch, but you can also get up and move if you need to, right?
Absolutely. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. And then when we have this emotional attachment to food,
Uh, Comes up a
right?
lot around this time of the year.
Yeah, you have your mom who made something that you used to love when you were a child, this like 12-layer lasagna full of cheese. I mean, there's so many decisions that happen during this time. And we understand it's not always easy, but we want to show you simple ways to make it less hard on your body. And you know what? When it's less hard on your body, it's clearer in your mind.
For sure. For sure. And that brings up like the most important thing that I would want anybody to know, right? Is that first of all, if you're going to eat the foods that maybe aren't the healthiest for you, drop the guilt. Because if you're going to make a conscious decision to eat, that traditional meal, I mean, we've all been in that place, right? No matter how much we want to make healthy decisions, where we're a guest at someone's house, and supper's being served, and it's like, well, what are you going to do? You're going to sit there and not eat because it's not foods that you're eating, you know that they're not healthy. No, you're going to make that decision to eat. Maybe you won't fill your plate as much, but you're still going to eat, right? And so first and foremost, you got to drop the guilt because the guilt makes it worse. With every bite that you're eating, you're having these negative thoughts about how you're failing yourself or you failed the decision you made or, what this food's going to do to you. Well, you're just amplifying the negativity, right, associated with it. And then the other thing is that we need to remember that when we're making a choice like that, when we're eating that way, if it's one day, one meal, I should say, because hopefully it's not an entire day, you want to balance in there. But if it's one meal is not going to decide your health long term. What's going to decide your health long term are the healthy habits, are the choices that we make. Hopefully they're healthy, but the choices that we make long term every single day. And there's still ways to incorporate healthy options when we are in the middle of a holiday and sometimes the traditional meals are not going to be the healthiest on your list, right?
Absolutely. It's the same concept of you go to the gym one day and you expect abs to happen. That's not how it works, right? Little
Would be
decisions.
nice, but no, it doesn't work that way.
Exactly. So we have some solutions for all of you, right? Because we believe in things to be simple and easy, right? So Sherry, what are some things that you implement in the holidays to, simplify your life?
Okay, so the first thing that's important to say is that about 5, almost 6 months ago, I did the ultimate lifestyle transformation. Now, this was a 30-day cleanse, super gentle on your system, full of amazing superfoods, the quality of which I don't think my body, even though I consider myself someone who eats really healthy, still the quality of these foods is like nothing my body has ever experienced. So that I feel like was a really good safeguard heading into now we're in the holiday season. I already felt amazing going into it. So that's really important to say because I felt like I'm coming into it with optimal health. So then now that I'm in the holidays, we have some traditional meals. We had some ingredients in some of the things that we just couldn't escape and are not things that I would normally eat. I actually posted about a traditional dessert that I always make every year, and I've morphed it over the years to make it really healthy, but I couldn't find the ingredients in the store this year. So I I made a choice to buy a store-bought option, and not only did we not enjoy it as much, but we were really feeling, right, the very questionable ingredients in it. So to balance those things off, I made sure that I was drinking my greens every day. Like I stuck to those habits that started with the ULT, the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. I stuck with those. I made sure that I was still doing those things, right? Because there's many aspects of this cleanse that you continue every day because it's meant to be a lifestyle change, not like this one thing that you do this one time and then you just jump back into your life. Like the idea is that these healthy habits start to flood into your daily routine, right? So I kept that going throughout. And so even though maybe my dessert wasn't that great, well, I know that I started my day with my alkalizing greens. And so already it was that much further ahead.
I love that. You know what? And the alkalizing greens, which is the power shake, this is so satiating.
Yeah. Yeah, which is so important because then I wasn't feeling, I wasn't having cravings. And so when these like, usually tempting platters would present themselves on the table, I wasn't like, ravishingly hungry and just like, taking in way more than I should be. I was able to enjoy a small portion and I was good.
Exactly, exactly. That's what's so brilliant about it. Same thing with me. I didn't overindulge. I didn't have more than like normal, because I felt good. And the amount that I had, it was perfectly satisfying.
That's it. Because so often it's not in really, I mean, the quality of the food is obviously important, but when we're talking about one meal in a year,
Yeah.
it's more about how much of it that we eat. If we're going to completely indulge and have no limits, that's where we're going to get in trouble. We're going to get ourselves into trouble and we're going to feel that sluggish feeling, not being able to get off the couch the next day kind of thing, right? But if we can just have a little portion and be done, we feel satisfied because we've had it because it's never supposed to be about restrictions. I don't think restriction belongs in nutrition at all. But it's supposed to be about being able to have these things, but in a quantity that's okay, that's not going to do a whole bunch of damage.
And you know what's happening when you're doing that? You're retraining your body, you're retraining your cells, right? How to approach food. You're not looking at something as guilt. You're not looking at something that you're going to think about for days. Why did I have that piece of cake? No, you are like removing these restrictions from yourself and enjoying the food you're actually eating.
Yes. Yeah, because it's supposed to be enjoyable. Food is supposed to be enjoyable. I can't tell you how often people will comment, they'll see how we eat, right? They'll see how my kids eat and they're like, oh, well, that doesn't seem fun. Like, oh, it must be so boring for you. And I'm like, are you kidding?
Mhm.
We love food. I love food. But there's a way to do it healthy where you're not, creating inflammation and creating a whole bunch of symptoms in you that you're going to have to deal with for weeks later. And it is possible. And so I love that idea of you enjoy the cake. If you're going to eat that piece of cake, by all means, my goodness, enjoy it. Because otherwise, I mean, if you're attaching all kinds of guilt feelings to it, you're doing the same as if you were giving yourself that piece of cake as a reward because it's still attached to emotions.
Absolutely. So I love everything you're saying. That's so true. People see the way we eat and they're like, Oh, I'm a foodie. I'm no, no, I'm a
Yeah,
foodie. I
I couldn't
love
do
to eat, right? But this is
it.
what they fail to understand sometimes, that if you eat healthy, you don't enjoy food. I enjoy food more than anyone, but my foods need to be functional,
For sure,
right?
for sure, for sure.
Let's
Because
do our
at the
body
really,
good.
yeah, at the core, that's what it's all about, right? We have to come at nutrition from a place of nourishment. And nourishment, again, I think it's just in our conditioning. We think nourishment, fueling is doing the right thing, which is not fun or not
Yeah.
tasty or not, and it's so wrong. Like we really have to challenge ourselves to flip that script because that's all it is.
Yes, I love that. But that's exactly. Because so many people think they're like, I do not eat cardboard. The food must be delicious. It must be tasty. It must be flavorful, right? So we are showing you easy ways to get the maximum of flavor and to be fully satisfied. Because I don't know about you, Sherry, but the worst thing is when you're eating supper with your family and you're like, your body's still not satisfied, right? That's why you fill it with that sweet at the end. What's for dessert? Something that's not healthy. Something that your body is going to be suffering later, that you're going to be bloated, that you won't be sleeping well, right?
100%. 100%. That is when we get ourselves into trouble and we start craving things that it's not really actually what our body's craving. I feel like so often we think, okay, well, I'm going to give in to my body because my body just wants this, right? My body is craving sugar. Your body's not actually craving sugar. Your body just didn't get enough of what it needed. And so now it's looking, and we are conditioned to think our body feels a need for something sweet. Well, we're going to grab an unhealthy option because that's how we associate sweetness. But there's so many other ways, that so many other things, so many other foods that we can associate sweetness to. It's about, again, shifting that more of a conditioning than it's not coming from our body will never crave junk food, right?
You know what? This is almost like you're giving away so many secrets here. It's almost like we're biohacking our bodies. This is what we're
Isn't
showing
that
you guys.
cool?
We're
It's
showing
amazing.
I know. I wish I had these skills when I was younger. I always have a reflection upon that. And I'm like, if I had these skills when I was younger. But you know what, guys? We are still young and we can retrain ourselves. It's never too late. You're never too old, right? Our kids are never too old. You don't have to think, oh, I have an 18-year-old. They eat like, no, it can happen to everyone. All you need is 30 days to begin. If you can commit to 30 days, you can change your entire life.
It is. And it's important to say that it's not 30 days of intensive work. It's like almost criminal how easy this is, It's like it's just so simple to just add these things into our day, and you're busy, you're rushed,
Yeah.
you're on the go. It
For
works.
you. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, you don't like greens usually, you don't like powders. Been there, tried them all. This is enjoyable for all, not just for the adults in the family, but for the kids as well, right? There's many aspects of this that the kids can jump into too, and they do, and they love it. And so it's a simple 30 days. It's a beautiful 30 days because you're introducing these incredible superfoods into your body. They're like the highest vibrational food that you can ever have. And so you're bound to feel amazing, which you don't usually associate cleanses or detoxes with feeling amazing, right? We usually think that it's going to mean like we're going to be out of commission for 30 days, but it's not the case at all.
Exactly. And I love that you're talking about how enjoyable it is. And I know if you're listening and you're like, okay, is it going to be drinking everything? It doesn't have to be, right? The power shake, the alkalizing greens, I sprinkle it on popcorn. You can make
So
fudge
good.
bars. There's so many ways that you can get this nutrient into our bodies. It doesn't always have to be drinking.
No, absolutely. I mean, I happen to love drinking. I do a lot of drinking in a day. So for me, I could theoretically drink it all day, but my
Yeah.
kids don't want to drink it all day, right? The aspects of it that the kids can have. And so, yeah, there's so many ways to incorporate it, and it's fun and delicious. And, in some of those ways, they add a beautiful additional like texture or taste to
Yeah.
your whatever you're baking or cooking. And in other ways, they disappear completely. So you don't even know they're there. So really, I feel like it works for for no matter, like for every taste bud, you know, it just, there's a way to incorporate it. And I love that about it because it's so versatile.
Absolutely. And simple. We can't stress this enough, guys. This is super, super simple. This is made for people like us who are super busy on the go, right? Super
For
simple.
sure. And that's, you know, that's it, is that we need to recognize, like, I know a lot of people are probably listening to us and saying, oh, you know, it's a nice idea, but like, I don't really think I need it. Like maybe one day, you know, or yeah, I feel okay. Like, you know, I don't really think this is for me. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say this is for everyone. And why I say this is for everyone is because if you're looking at this as some kind of quick fix, then yeah, no, you're not coming at it from the right mindset, from a mindset that's really going to make it effective for you. So it's not about being a quick fix, or this detoxing thing that you do once and then you don't touch again for another year or 6 months or whatever it is, or ever. This is truly meant to be a lifestyle change. And why everybody needs this is because, you know, the same as we charge our cell phones every night, we fuel up our cars, right? We take out the garbage, right, weekly in our homes. Like, we need to start focusing some of that maintenance on ourselves. It's amazing to me how we go around in life, you know, completely depleting our body. Guys, it's the only place we have to live, you know, and we can only deplete it for so long. It always catches up to us in one way or another. So before that happens, it's so much easier to prevent versus treat. So before you need to be treating a symptom, a chronic disease, or something like that, it's the time now to do that, like maintenance, that prevention, preventative measures, right, for our own bodies.
Exactly. Let's not wait until it's too late. So, Shari and I are starting this group cleanse starting January 3rd. This is going to be massive, okay?
So
And we
excited.
want all of you to join us. It's time that you feel your optimal self. You deserve this to feel amazing, to wake up with energy. We weren't always like this, and we are bringing the solutions to you. So, follow Shari. We are going to hop on her page and continue talking about the cleanse, okay? So get yours today. We have over $100 off for you. This is a gentle, amazing, easy, efficient cleanse that has become a lifestyle, right? So easy.
Absolutely. To be continued.
To be continued. Okay, bye guys.